Hello, internet friends and esports fanatics. Get it? Fanatic? Because they won, right? Welcome to Rant.
The one kill! Penta for double! Penta kill! Double in! Oh, look at the cleanse! Look at the move! What was that?
Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of Rant. I'm your host, Leonix.
And I'm Moon, and today we're going to talk about the new sponsors of the LCS, Week 1 games, and we're bringing on a special guest, Maplestreet, the AD carry of Team 8.
I'm excited. So let's jump right into it. First off, I want to talk about the entire broadcast as a whole. Starting off,
a lot of interesting and funny things happened.
Right. So in the beginning of the broadcast, actually right after the game between Cloud9 and TSM, there was marriage proposal.
It was so beautiful.
I thought it was kind of cringeworthy.
I mean, hey, you know, if that's your thing, she has a Ziggs tattoo. That's her thing.
I guess she's hardcore.
If you're hardcore about something, do that.
I don't know if that is like, for me right now,
does it feel
is a little
gimmicky?
bit. It's a little gimmicky,
I
but
agree.
when you're in the moment, I can see why it's like cool and like.
Everything's exciting. It's the beginning of a new season, a new marriage.
Yeah,
We're
right.
Weird. I mean,
I don't think it fits for me personally.
not at all. I personally am not like
I mean,
that's not my whole entire life. Like a life decision of mine, so great, does not revolve around a video game, so it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah. I mean, like, it fits for her. That's fine.
Ziggs tattoo.
Fits for them. That's
all about
great.
it. All about it.
You know.
Yeah.
But like.
I mean, I appreciate that the broadcast took it seriously enough as an incident to actually. I mean, it wasn't done live. They didn't show it live. It was a
video playback.
It was a video playback. But I mean, it was up there. Everyone saw it.
Yeah, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Whole Twitter feed.
It's not the first time that's ever happened. It happened at Worlds.
That's different.
Or no, not Worlds. All Stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One of the international events. But here, the reason why I want to talk about that is because in traditional sports, it's happened. Like people, couples walk up to, into the court, the courtyard of the NBA and pop the question there. And I think that's in itself still gimmicky, even for traditional sports.
Just themed proposals. Like I personally, as a cosplayer, have seen photos of like a Sailor Moon proposal where the girl and the boyfriend were cosplaying together, and like during a photo shoot, he just gets down on one knee and it's an actual proposal and stuff like that. I mean, it just seems kind of small, like low ceiling kind of thing happening. You know what I mean? Like it's just a bit gimmicky. Like you could have made this a deep and meaningful experience, but you kind of just went with like, oh, this is a hobby. Let's get married.
Okay, so you said it was kind of gimmicky. Now here's my question to you. If it was, okay, TSM just won, right?
TSM.
Right? Okay. What if it was BX and you on stage? Would you have told him no because it was gimmicky?
Okay, I haven't actually. Okay, so if I'm dating a professional and he wins like
No,
week
not a
one,
professional, but Bjergsen.
Yeah, okay, if I'm with Bjerg. Well, okay, so
I'm not talking about some any challenger player. I'm talking about the Bjergsen.
Okay, did he win? What did he win?
He beat Cloud9 right there. Right
week
after the first
1?
Game. Week 1.
Week 1, I won my first game. Let's get married. No, I would not say yes. Come on.
So it has to be Worlds?
That. No, I don't think that I would want them to propose to me.
What if he won
at a
Worlds?
League of Legends event? He could take me out to dinner afterwards.
What the? So shallow.
No, it's just not. I want it to be like not about anything other than us. Not like I'm using the excitement and all of this going on around me as a way.
Enough with the marriage proposals. I want to talk business.
Answer.
Okay. HGC sponsors teams in the LCS now.
Yeah, apparently, because
on this HGC phone.
It's great.
From Team Liquid, right? Yeah, so about HGC, it's a non-traditional sponsor. I know I'm kind of endorsing them, but they don't really, I'm not affiliated with them. It's just cool.
It's funny.
You know what? Take this back. Take this back. Okay, it's funny because they did the plug-in on the live
during the interview with Jet
like Steve,
and Liquid.
He was just like, oh, no, my phone, no. Hilarious.
Super
I thought
funny.
It was funny.
I thought it was super funny.
I thought it was super funny. I don't know why the crowd groaning was hilarious as well.
I feel like they were told like, all right, something really awkward's gonna happen. Like, go ahead and groan. Like, it seemed like that wasn't a natural reaction, and it made it funnier.
I mean, this is really good just because it's another, obviously, funding source. It's opening up more opportunities
If
for the esports team.
is growing because of it.
Yeah,
money is being put into it from an outside source, like a phone company.
Yeah, it's like kind of like the Snapdragon thing for TSM back in the day. Now, this is important because we've talked about this, about Korean infrastructure and how we need to catch up.
Just, I mean, they have Faker on Coke cans. Like.
Yeah, to the Asian scene. Now, you know, Samsung, we have HTC as a phone.
On your phone.
So it creates opportunities, creates jobs. It's monumentous to the teams.
And then outside sources that aren't yet fans or even aware of the game find out about it because they're like, oh, my phone is like, quote, you know what I mean? Affiliated.
Yeah, I mean, it helps, and like it's the little step that is needed to push esports into the traditional world of like being, I don't know, widely accepted, I guess. But that's for us, I guess. But I think that's cool. I think HGC is making a good move.
Absolutely.
Maybe it kind of has validity for other teams. Maybe we'll see more in the next, you know, upcoming months throughout the LCS, new sponsors for different teams. Maybe it's just the top tier teams. Now, here's my kind of thing about the whole HGC sponsorship. They only sponsor the top teams.
Yeah.
That sort of...
Does that rub you the wrong way?
I feel like that gives them a little bit of an edge. Not in the sense of like, oh yeah, the player will always do better, right? I kind of think that it gives them the edge in resources, for sure.
Because they have that backing.
Absolutely. And it gets them more popularity, obviously, and it could have some negative effects, but not too big that outweigh the positive, you know, the pros. Speaking of HGC, the Verge actually has reported that HGC, it's not just some random company that's getting into esports.
There's an actual emotional attachment going on here.
I mean, emotional.
They like the
game. If you think, yeah, right. Emotional if you, I mean, tech, whatever. Okay, so there is a motivation behind it because they're looking into expanding their, you know, entertainment area, I guess, right? And there is a tie-in with that. Future down the line, we'll see.
League of Legends app? Question mark? I'm just kidding.
Nah. But yeah, and the other topic that we're going to discuss is LCS Week 1. Opinions, thoughts?
It was quite unexpected personally for me. I guess I did think that Liquid was going to do well. I didn't expect them to go first. I don't know who I did expect, but I did not expect C9 to go last.
Really?
Yeah, no, not at all. I honestly thought that they would do at least, like, top 3 at least. I mean, there's like 8 teams placed for second right now or whatever because it's like everyone only played twice, but still I didn't expect them to go last at all.
I feel that after winning IEM San Jose and like coming back and getting used to the changes,
it'd be like easy riding.
I feel like they got complacent by winning so much, and they're like, okay, I think it's actually good that they lost the first couple of games just to click them back into the, you know, real world, and it was like, oh, we needed to actually practice and actually play against teams and do well.
Yeah, definitely not, especially during the season where there's a lot of new players coming in and a lot of team changes, like not just name changes, but roster changes and the new season and everything. They need to not underestimate everyone. I think this is the season of everyone's a lot closer to each other than they were before. So these things are to be expected. You're going to see the best fall sometimes and the past worst like become great. You know, all the time. Yeah,
I want to speak about the notable teams in EU as well. The notable teams, Elements actually, you know, rebranded as Alliance. They choked at the first game. They did sort of well in the second game. I guess that was kind of expected. They're already on a good start because the last split they went like 0-4 out of the first Super Week or something ridiculous like that.
So it's better than that.
Yeah, so it's better. It's
slight improvement?
Slight improvement at the beginning of the start.
Maybe that's why they was a bit shaky, a little bit nervous.
Yeah, and they also have a new AD carry. And Tabs was that aggressive AD carry. Reckless is not that aggressive AD carry. They have similar playstyles of this passive kind of doing what's right. They feel that's right, and the team has to form around it. I don't think Wicked did that well.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, and his stats on a fantasy league right now aren't doing so hot. But yeah, he definitely didn't do his best or showcase much.
Yeah, so they did okay, but what really surprised me, I guess it didn't really surprise me, but it caught everyone off. You know, Fnatic. They don't have their original starting lineup. The only person there is Yellow Star, which he did phenomenal. They had Fabivin, they had Rainover, they had Uni. They had a whole bunch of different, they didn't have their original roster, but they did phenomenal. They did amazing. They showed up. They beat Elements.
They were ready.
Yeah, they were ready, and they 2-0 clean sweep week. I don't think anyone expected it, but the reason why I kind of expected it a little bit and wasn't too surprised, because those guys, even though that Korean imports on their team, those guys are the practice squad of SKT1. They played with the best. They played against Faker. They play
they've been around the block, and they've been through the rugged.
Yeah, they practiced over there in Korea, from my understanding, and they brought it over here with the same mentalities of, oh yeah, we've done this before. And even though it's a practice squad, I guess it worked. It worked for them, which is fine. And Yellowstar did a great job of recruiting those players. So awesome to him, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The other notable team that I really want to point out is obviously our boys.
SK,
right? Forgiven is a great,
showed so much skill.
Yeah, amazing skill on Lucian. Does phenomenal, he does everything what's right. You got Freddy in the top lane. He gets Gnar. He's able to 1v2.
Effectively.
Yeah, right. 1v2 Ruckcats in the top lane. Wow, it just blows my mind. And Sven does an amazing job in the jungle. You got your top lane carries, you got your jungle carries.
It's just an all over really solid team.
Yeah. So N-Rated is a great support player again. Those, I feel like you got your two players on your side that are doing really well. And, I'm not going to say Fox isn't doing bad, but Fox is doing what is right for his team.
He's definitely playing as a team player.
Obviously, in the 2 games, it's too early to tell to be some crazy god at the mid lane.
There are
but
definitely
I feel like he's playing his part. He's just playing passive. He's just doing his thing. He's just all right, I'm not going to fuck up. I'm going to let Freddy and Sven do their thing. I'm going to let Forgiven do his thing with N-Rated, right? So I think that in that team dynamic, it works.
Every team has their own way of having this sort of synergy.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can see that, and especially in the second game against Meet Your Makers, they were down in kills, right? Didn't matter, 5 dragons, easy peasy, right?
They definitely took advantage of what they could in order to get ahead and take it.
Yeah, I mean there are some more notable teams, but for sake of time, I really want to give Meet Your Makers a shout out because they kind of. I want to talk about them not because they did amazing, even if they did amazing. They used to be a super hot crew, but they lost Impaler, they lost their support, and their Mr. Rawless, Selfie, Corey now is still on the team with Mimer. They aren't necessarily the best team anymore. Impaler goes to Coast, obviously NA. It kind of broke apart, and that's a story in itself. Maybe that's a discussion for next time. Those are the top tier teams that I feel that are in there. Maybe Rawcats up there as well, but they didn't obviously perform well in week 1. That's a story in itself.
Yeah.
So in NA, Team Liquid.
Team Liquid did absolutely astounding, and they didn't even have Piglet yet.
I know, right?
And everyone, they went Keith?
He did phenomenal.
He went 9-1 against Doublelift.
So Keith did phenomenally well. Plays phenomenally well on Caitlyn, does an amazing job as an AD carry. He stepped up his game. Fun fact, I saw on the the fantasy thing, if Keith McBrief didn't play, Fabi, the gatekeeper, would have been playing. Right?
Wow.
Right? Is that true? Can that be confirmed?
Confirmed?
Can that confirmed? No? Yeah. Yes? I don't know.
We got a yeah.
So I don't know if Keith McBrief he just played out of his mind.
Absolutely.
And
he definitely filled some big shoes very well.
It gets worse when Piglet comes in.
Oh yeah. That's to be expected.
Yeah, and TSM, I feel like their team dynamic still needs to be worked out with Sample.
Yeah, there were a few kinks. I don't know if he has a lot of similarities to Amazing, but I don't think that there's some things that are missing that I actually think Amazing did have that he really needs to figure out, team synergy wise, because sometimes he just does things that I find really questionable.
Based off this week.
Just from the 2 games that I saw them play.
Yeah. Based off this week, what's your top 3, top 4 of NA?
I don't know. I think that Team Liquid's going to do incredibly well. Everyone else is so hard to say. Because I expected C9 to be one of my top picks, but seeing as they did so poorly, I don't know if, like you said, it's going to shape them up and they're just going to feel like, we really messed up and we need to take this more seriously and not. And if that happens, I think that they'll be on the top. But if it's because of like they're actually not as good right now, then they won't make it up there in TSM. I think we'll definitely be one of the other teams.
Okay. Any thoughts on CLG or any of the other teams? Team
CLG didn't really. Team 8 might come up in 3rd or 4th. Actually, I think they did.
What?
Really, I think that they're doing really good. Yeah. No, I think they're doing.
They lost to CLG though.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think that. And then they beat TSM. Come on, like that's like it's hard to say because each team is different and teams beat other teams for different reasons. But I think that they definitely show a lot of promise.
No Dignitas, you don't. No.
Not
Coast?
really thinking.
Coast doesn't float your boat.
No.
No.
Or Winter Fox did good, but.
You don't like Winter Fox? Gravity?
No, I do. I really do like. I like Winter Fox and Gravity. It was really enjoyable to watch their games, but I don't feel like they're so far. I mean, I watched 2 games of each of them, but out of those 2 games, nothing struck me as like. Yeah, I know, but like we even stated, they were really underestimating them, so we don't really actually know. I mean, it's week 1. It's the first 2 games for each team. Like, you never know. Yeah. I don't think anything is set in stone.
Okay. All right, we have a special guest on the show.
The AD carry of Team 8, Maplestreet.
They did phenomenally well. Welcome back, esports fans. I am joined by a special guest in the HyperX studio, the American badass himself, Maplestreet.
The AD carry of Team 8 himself.
All right, so I just want to get a feel for your world, Maplestreet. So I want to know exactly where do you get that name?
Well, my name is a really, really obscure reference to a really old TV show. It's a black and white television show called The Twilight Zone, and there's a specific episode called The Monsters Are Due on Maplestreet. And spoilers, in that episode, the monsters are the humans. And I was playing Dota back then, and there's a player code Monster, and I'm like, wow, I want to be like a monster. He's so good at this game, so I want to be like a monster at this game. It's so obscure and ridiculous, and it's not from MapleStory. That's all you need to know.
It's not from MapleStory. All right.
How did the change from Dota to League of Legends happen? I know you play Dota a lot.
Yeah, I had a really, really old computer, so I just used that the entire time, and then one day I got a laptop that could play League, and I started right after my brother Brian, TheOddOne, left the house. So he was already really famous, and I'm just like, oh, let's just play this game since this laptop can run it at 40 FPS.
And you didn't even tell him you were playing, right?
Yeah, I didn't tell him I was playing. I didn't think I would get addicted to it.
No one does.
But after a week, I think I played 100 games of low level. I was just spamming AD carry, Graves or something. Yeah.
Did you when you knew that you were gonna play Graves? It was oh, I'm gonna be an AD carry for life at that point, or well, what was that transition into that role?
Yeah, I did watch streams before, so I knew a little bit about Brian's career and that he was going to these big tournaments. Because one day he's just oh, I'm flying out to Cologne or something, and it's
what was
cool.
Oh, he's gonna enjoy the world, right?
Yeah, so I started watching streams, and it's well, what's the best role I can do to learn the game? And I'm oh, that AD carry guy just sits in the back, doesn't need to do anything. He can watch all the other idiots kill each other, and then I can just clean up. So I thought AD carry would be the easiest role to learn the game, because you gotta understand what every champion's doing. You don't necessarily want to be this squishy tank that goes in the front and just dies instantly. So as an AD carry, I got to witness the power spikes and all the damage of the Aurelia Jax meta at the time.
All right, give me a little timeline of when that happened. Is this during season 1 when TheOddOne is playing, or this is at the beginning of season 2 when you were okay, I want to be that AD carry type, when AD carries were dominant in the meta at the time?
Yeah, so I had watched tournaments on and off, the season 1 season 1 finals. He flew out, and I watched that tournament. I watched a stream once in a while. Actually, I think I was watching Dyrus and Hotshot or something like that, because they were streaming. Then midway through season 2, I got a laptop that could actually run the game. So I just downloaded it, started playing. I believe it was a bit after Hecarim, right before Draven was released, who became my favorite champion. But yeah. So So I just started playing there, and then like 1 month in, I was in ranked. I got stuck around gold for a while, so I took a month break. And I came back, and then I just spammed Draven, and it turns out he might have been the most broken champion of all time.
With the bleed, right? Now
yeah, he was absolutely insanely strong.
Now, do you feel that since with OddOne success on TSM, was that kind of more inspiration for you to become a pro at that point?
Yeah, was your initial intent to become a professional, or were you just like, oh, this is fun?
Yeah, I was just having fun at first, but like knowing that he could just like leave the house and say, screw school, I've got video games, that was like really eye-opening, incredible. Like I didn't really know of any gamers at all. There was like Fatality, who was a huge FPS player who like won everything, but like I didn't realize that esports could happen and like you could actually live off the money, and like holy crap, I really want to I want to get into video games because that's what I've been doing like most of my life.
Is that what got you out of the software development?
Well, I finished the 2 years of software development and got like...
So you are one of the very few pro players that actually got a degree out of college.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, it's like, it's not a whole university 4 years thing. It's just a 2-year program. It's not like a diploma mill or something. It's a legitimate place that actually gets you like a job and stuff. But yeah, I did 2 years of IT software development. It didn't interest me greatly. I definitely played a lot more League than I should have during the last semester or 2 of it. And yeah, I just got addicted. But you finished it.
Yeah, you stuck it out. Proud of you.
So now that you move on to your professional career, and give me like your point A and to point B when you moved on, like, oh, this is going to be like my esports road. This is what I'm going to do. Like you told me that you were at gold. What was the jump from gold to, you know, that challenger level?
Well, back in season 2, there was only diamond, of course, and then there's like the highest tier of diamond was 2,500. So I was at gold for a while, and then like I started spamming Draven, and like I'm a little bit of hipster at heart. It was like no one's playing Draven, and it's like this champion's fun. I'm gonna make it work because you know I played Urgot in the LCS. I'm the ultimate hipster. I played Varus, Urgot, Kennen AD carry, Jace AD carry. So like I just had a lot of fun, and like since I had all that fun and Draven just happened to be slightly overpowered, I just flew up the ranks. I hit like 2,600, which was extremely high. That was like top 15 or so. And then from there, I started unlocking more AD carries and started playing them more. I just hovered around high diamond for a long time. And the start of my competitive career was like go for lols. So I was really high up, and then like a player just asked me to play like this weekly tournament. So like I go in there, and we lost horribly. I forget. I think my first team ever was called Team Impact, and then I went to Team Tasty Pastries. These are like no-name teams. I'm sorry to all those players.
But at least they're interesting sounding, Tasty Pastries.
Now, you know, you said that you watch streams like Dyrus and your brother and all the different streamers. Is there any? They're not 80 carries from the ones you gave me, but was there any like 80 carries that you took your own play and morphed it into your own kind of like theory crafting, or?
Not too much. Well, I just couldn't find many AD carry streamers, but like there was 2 really, really good players. There was Doublelift and Neon Tonso. And I really admired Neon Tonso at the time because he was on a team called like Orbit, and he was facing off against TSM in these like weekly invitationals. And like everyone was like, TSM's gonna win. And then Nien would just like single-handedly carry. He'd be like 12 CS a minute somehow in bot lane, and it was just like insane. So like I really looked up to Nien. Doublelift, of course, was like crazy good. His mechanics are always just really, really solid, and he's always been a really great player. So like, I don't know. I just like wanted to be as good as them. One day I started facing off against Doublelift. I kept playing scared for like a week, but then one day I just played Draven against him, and I'm just like, screw it, I'm going in, and it's like, oh wait, everyone's just playing the same game as me. I can actually beat them, especially when I've got such a dominant matchup.
Do you think that that's a sort of mental block that you have to like pull through when you're going from just being a high diamond player to being an actually competitive professional player? Is that mental block of like, these people are people I watch and I think they're so amazing, but I'm on their level?
Yeah, you just turn off the nameplates or something?
Yeah, is that what you do?
Yeah, I don't turn off the nameplates. I always call them by their name, but Yeah, you just gotta get over the small mental blocks, like, oh, that champion's OP, I can't outplay it, or like, oh, that player's OP, I can't beat him. It's just like, I don't know, it's a whole learning process. Week 1 of NALCS just finished, and we lost to COG, but like, we were all uncomfortable on the team at the studio for the first time, but like, after day 1, we just didn't want it to end the same way, day 2. So like, we started playing more and more aggressive, like, I misplayed the first game. So it's all just like growing. I wasn't used to the aggression, and now I kind of am.
Yeah, in that first game that you played phenomenally well in the early and mid game, and then I guess it was like the kind of like the outscale kind of thing, or was that just picks? You think in that first game against COG?
I did not play well. That's quite an exaggeration, I would say.
Well, I guess teammate as a whole, right?
Yeah. What was the strongest weakness of that?
We played decently well. We got heavily outpicked in a way, and like that's just a learning experience. I didn't play the lane correctly. What happened was kind of like we're supposed to play very aggressive, the levels 1, 2, and 3 or so, but they just permanently shoved and we didn't fight them at that time, so then it just got out of control. There's no counterplay to shoving lanes really, except ganks, but you're never going to get a gank off on Tristan or Janna. It's like the largest PO you can ever get. Right. So there's absolutely no way we were going to win after we messed up early.
So in your career, you're doing the Go for LOL invitationals and with the lesser teams, what's the next step after that?
So I went from Go for Low team to Go for Low team, and then like another Go for Low team just wanted me as an AD carry, like one of the players. Forget his name now, shoot. But he was really important.
Did Brian know, OddOne, did he know that you were playing in Go for LOL at that time, or?
Not really. I think he was mostly playing like his TSM games and stuff. Like one day we met in solo queue. I actually jumped past him for a long time. And then when I finally fell back down a little bit at like 2200, I finally got in the game and I was like, hey, it's your brother Ainsley. And then he's like, I don't believe you. Send me an email. So I sent him an email. He's like streaming. He's like, holy crap, it is him. And it's like, wow, he plays a lot of Draven.
So did you guys not talk a lot at the time?
Well,
if you had no idea.
Yeah, like I want to know how close are you guys?
Like? Has it grown because of your now professional career?
Yeah, it's grown. Like we weren't like the closest of family members, I would say. Like our whole family, I don't know, we had our own arguments and everything. But like League has brought us a lot closer together, so that's always nice.
That makes sense. So from the invitationals, is that where you, past season 2, is that where you bounce on to Velocity at that point?
Basically, yeah, that's actually kind of what happened. Like, we started assembling all these really good players, and then we formed, like, Dirtnap Gaming or whatever. It's, like, some forum that no one really cares about. I'm sorry, Dirtnap.
Okay, so on Velocity, you play up into the qualifiers to get into the LCS at that time. Is there, like, how did that all come to be? Like, did they ask you to be on Velocity, or did you help form Velocity?
Yeah, so Dirtnap we dropped Dirtnap and then became Velocity. Like, we were 5 really good players. It was like Chris, me, we had JD Wu for a while, and then we picked up NK Inc. And then we had Prolly mid, but he got poached by Complexity. So then we got Valrose mid. And
didn't you play mid for a while? And then switch.
Well, that was later.
Yeah, that was later.
So we actually qualified through there through like MOG Dallas, this one LAN event, which was really, really fun. We lost to Cloud9, which was funny because every single tournament before that, we were crushing Cloud9. And I, in particular, would be spamming Draven and Misfortune, who were like extremely broken at that time. And then suddenly, like 1 week before the tournament, in one online tournament that we beat them like 6 weeks in a row, they just stomped us. And then we go to LAN, they stomped us. And they won every single tournament after that just by destroying everything. But we actually got an invite to the whole relegation tournament. We had to play through Salad Bar, a team of 5 normals only players, but they were really good. Like E Honda, DK BNet, Hirishin, Ghost Zero, and another guy. But like, I respect them so much that I can actually remember most of their names, even though I never ever see them in solo queue. They were really, really good, and we just barely beat them 2-1. And then we faced Marn, and we beat them 3-2. Even though it was 3-2, like, it should have been, like, almost a 3-0, but Nien was just super good that day. He, like, straight hard carried 2 of the games, and, like, he just couldn't carry the rest.
Oh, man, Nien. Oh. bad memories. Bad memories, right? So you're on Velocity, and you have your first split. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best of records, I guess, in LCS history, right? That's what I kind of want to.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, that's what I kind of want to touch up on. You guys actually had a couple different problems with like the roster. Vile Rose being a father, like he was married, right?
Yes.
He was a father at the time, and there was you actually go to mid at one point. Tell me like how that kind
hectic.
of. Yeah, it was hectic.
What was it like
and it kind of showed on the, publicly. I thought it kind of collapsed in on itself as an organization. Can you maybe give a little comments on that?
The whole Velocity situation, I don't know. It's unfortunate. We all just like got life experience and learned stuff from it. So, like, I wouldn't take it as a huge negative in my life. Like, I learned a lot of stuff. We just like weren't particularly lucky either, but like we didn't have a really solid support staff, I would say. So it started off like we didn't get a house for a few weeks. We went to Reddit and asked, and eventually this one like outsider guy just straight up helped us get a house.
Wow.
And so like
Strike of lightning right there.
it was a nice house. It was far away from the studio, but like it took us 2 weeks to get the house. So like we were just playing from like random places. I was playing at our coach's house, Atlanta. And on this like 4x3 monitor, that was actually a TV. So I was practicing there. We didn't really have any team practice for the longest time. But eventually after week 3, we started practicing together. But like our whole roster was kind of formed like weeks before the relegation tournament, because Probably left for complexity, which means we had to fill our mid role. And interestingly enough, the final 2 candidates was Viros and Dr. Quas, who turned out to be one of the best top laners in the universe or something. Quas is just insanely good. I'm glad he went to top lane and like just wrecked.
I just feel like playing at LAN for so much, like he has like, you know, like in Dragon Ball Z, with the weights and like hyperbolic time chamber of like the ping in LAN, and he comes to NA and he just cleans house.
He was just
he just goes Super Saiyan, right?
But we needed like a shot caller. Viros wasn't like a really big shot caller. It was more NK Inc. making a lot of shot calls. So I think NK is a bit salty about that in a way, because it goes down in history like, oh, Viros always did the shot calling. But it was a lot of NK, bit of Evan and Vile Rose as well.
So you guys eventually split up, do your own thing, and you are one of the main guys that are still in the LCS, and I think your manager, Brian Cordry, being the manager of Winter Fox in the other direction. Are you guys, are you still friends with your teammates and maybe even the support staff afterwards?
Yeah, there's still Chris. Also, he's on Coast. He was our top laner. So I don't really talk to him too much, but I don't think we're enemies. We didn't exactly have a support staff, so there's no one to talk to again. No support staff. Yeah, I don't think we're enemies at all. Like, we're just pretty neutral about it.
Okay.
That's
so
really
respectable gentlemen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better than.
Now to pave this, you know, make this road to now Team 8. You leave Velocity. How do we get there?
Okay, yeah, so nearing the end of Velocity, we just knew we had to make roster changes. So I went mid for a short while, so we had Slacko as AD carry.
How was that?
And then I kind of just, well,
how was mid lane?
It was working all right. I mean, at that time, Quantic came over. The 5 Koreans, Lokodoko plus Prime, Apple, Gunza, all these players. We, for some reason, stomped them in scrims, like, almost every single time. So, Velocity wasn't a bad team. It was
scrims.
Just the worst of the LCS. But, yeah.
Do you think that changing and trying a new role, like, helped you become a better AD carry or understand the game better, or was it just a nuisance?
Not at all. I sucked in, man. Like, people called me the worst mid ever and stuff. Like, I was eventually getting there. Like, with another few months, I might have been able to do it.
You couldn't find any broken hipster champions mid lane?
Yeah, but we just got like kicked out and freaking dumped as a team at freaking Buffalo Wild Wings. No comment on that. We got fired there.
This is like, hey guys, let's go get some wings, and you're fired.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry about that.
All right.
Okay, but moving on from Velocity, like I just left the team because it just wasn't really going anywhere. So they were forming their own team, which would later become Complexity Red. Me and Slushy went back to mid. Turns out Slushy was like a great mid, and that very first week we did it, we beat LMQ in Challengers in NACL, and we beat Cloud9 Tempest, I think. And like both of those teams were supposed to be like crazy good. They're the best teams. And from there we went into NACS Challenger Series, and unfortunately we had an early matchup against LMQ, and LMQ had not lost a single game in all of the NACS games. But we actually beat them game 1, and then we lost game 2 and 3, so our LCS run for that split was over. So we were close to LMQ, but not good enough. We didn't beat them. And LMQ went on into the summer season just crushing everyone in LCS, so damn brackets, how do they work? But yeah, we just qualified for the summer Challenger Series. Well, actually, it's kind of funny. We won Lone Star Clash, and then we went into NACS, the first split of the summer one, and we lost round 1 to a Zingy. That was a sad day. It hit like it was high up on Reddit. It's like the Lone Star Champions teammate has fallen to a Zingy's team. He picked Fiddlesticks. We played really bad. His Fiddlesticks won the game. But we won this, or we got really deep in the second half of it, and then we won the playoffs of NACS, so we could actually play in the relegation tournament against Complexity. But yeah, along that whole time is just a lot of practice, some Black Monster Cups, and yeah, we just faced Complexity. We were pretty nervous. We were pretty confident. And I thought Complexity was really, really good in the games. Like,
you guys 2-0 them at the beginning, too.
Yeah, it was surprising because it felt like their ward, they fought for wards really hard. Like, it felt like their ward control was better every time, but they just misplayed these team fights and just straight lost the first 2 games. And game 3 and 4, like, before the third game, Dodo had joked, like, oh, what if we just go, we get reverse sweep like every other team? So suddenly we lose 2 in a row, and it's like ... But after losing those 2 games, I was like, I don't want to lose here. I really want to win. And like, I'm pretty sure most of my team felt that same sentiment. So we just like played our hearts out and won the last game. God bless.
Okay, you make it into the LCS, and the first week you guys actually beat TSM, which is
huge.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
congratulations, right?
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
Everyone here thinks so. That's amazing.
The NA champions of season 4, so that's crazy.
Yeah, so I want to know, obviously, has to be one of the MVP of that game, Slushy. I want to know more about him and what you think about him. What was going through your mind when he's getting those double kills left and right and just took out all of these TSM members and Bjergsen, right?
Yeah, like we're all focusing on the team fights, and like they always looked really even, and then suddenly Slushy moves the ball into like 4 of them and ults and kills everyone. It's like, holy crap, what the hell happened?
Follow up.
It was such a close fight that maybe Slushy was intentionally making it dramatic or something. But like, wow. His ults were just so good. They just always crushed the enemy. He also played the early game extremely well. Centaurn was probably camping mid, and like there's roams, but he always survived them. And yeah, my team just scared me. I don't know. I just played a really simple champion, Sivir. I made a few mistakes. Both my deaths were mistakes. But
Sivir was the first pick, though. What was the whole purpose of choosing her first?
Yeah, well, Sivir's kind of just a meta pick, and you can run a steamroll comp with it. Almost everyone does it, and it's a pretty easy champion. It's hard to counter it in lane, and we didn't even 2v2 them. TSM doesn't seem to be that good at 2v1, so we just 2v1'd them, and we actually came out much, much ahead. Mm-hmm. But they also picked a really bad lane against it. Like, they picked Morgana and Graves, and Spell Shield just blocks a lot of their damage potential. So, I don't know. The whole game, we won in pick and bans, and then we just played it out really well and won.
Mm-hmm. Now, in LCS, people, the community, you know how shitty our community is, right? I'm just kidding. But
no, they're pretty cruel.
Yeah, they're pretty cruel, right? Now I want to know, they see you guys as, a lot of people see you guys as the underdogs, obviously in the LCS.
Especially now.
Analytically, I want to know where you can place teammate in the 10 spectrum, where you guys want to finish. I know that there's a new rule change of, the 10th team being auto-relegated. Is that a concern for you guys, or is that like, oh, we're not even worried about that? We're going to be, at least
top 3
at the top 5 or something like that.
Well, I don't know. We always want to finish high up, and for some reason, people like to be like, "Oh, you're delusional." And it's like, well, I just want to win, I don't exactly want to lose. So, we're hoping for like playoffs this split. Our win against TSM isn't too crazy impressive, in my opinion, but we're just gonna keep working hard. We definitely want to be first place. So, I'm not really happy until we're the best team in NA and maybe the world. So we're just going to keep working at it. I feel like we might make playoffs. Well, I think we can make playoffs this split.
So I know that we've been talking about a lot of different champions, different players in the scene. We actually have a game. So we have a game. So we're talking about the League of Legends champions, players in eSports. Heads up.
Related.
Moon will describe and explain the game to you. Is that cool?
So,
all right.
Quick explanation of the game Heads Up. It's pretty much just a guessing game where there's a subject placed over your head where you cannot see, and we have, like, a League of Legends related, obviously, and then we explain it to you, and you have to guess it in a certain amount of time.
Now, here's the catch to that, viewers out there. Whoever wins this is a competition between Maple and Moon, and whoever wins this, if Maple wins, one of you lucky viewers that like, comment, or subscribed on this video will be receiving one of these magical headsets from HyperX. Ooh. Yeah,
awesome.
right?
Thank you,
it could be you. It
Yeah.
could be you. It could not you. So with the rules explained, we're gonna just put it up on the iPad here.
Do I hide it from him?
Let's have Maple go first, right?
Okay.
Or
yeah,
do you?
so
do you
no,
want to
I
go
mean,
first?
I know he could go first.
Okay, so Maple's gonna go first.
Put it over your head. I have to press play.
All right.
Okay, we're ready. 2, 1.
I love Deft. He's my inspiration at Worlds.
Super cute.
I play on
Piglet.
Elements. I play on Elements.
Reckless?
Yes.
Recently? Okay.
I'm your brother.
Related.
TheOddOne.
Yeah.
It's rigged.
Everyone else is trash, man.
Double lift.
Oh, he's not here yet, but when he comes, he's gonna do.
It made him cry.
Piglet.
Yes. Come shot in
Amazing
7.
jungler.
What did you
What?
say?
I said come shot in 7.
Oh god.
Oh, Meteor.
I said amazing jungler.
Yeah, that's it.
Team that
We choked
didn't
and
do
went
so
0
good.
and 2.
with their
Fun
amazing
line.
jungler.
Yes. Get fit. No.
Snoopy.
It counts, whatever.
What did he get?
Oh,
It's almost like this game was rigged with TheOddOne there.
he racked up 7 points.
7
points. All right, so we're gonna pass it over to Moon here. If she is able to win, we're not gonna get any HyperX headphones.
But how does it work? Do I give her bad clues?
I guess,
Are
right?
you guys trying to screw me over here?
We
Can I have an unbiased subject come and play this with me, please?
I mean, we could, but it's up to the gracious God of Maplestreet to
I'm the very gracious.
yeah,
one.
to bless one of our viewers with a HyperX headset. So, if we can start the round.
Okay.
All right.
I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh.
I am prepared for this.
I'm so scared. Am I doing it?
Nope.
Oh,
upside down. Upside down.
Wait. Wait. Did I ruin everything?
Yeah. We work for them.
SK Gaming?
Yeah.
The Big Dick Squad.
Raise your dongers. I'm a streamer. I stopped playing for Dignitas. I'm the AD carry.
I'm a cutie pie.
Yeah. We lost to this guy here the other day.
Santorin, Bjergsen.
Oh, TSM.
Yes. And Anivia.
Anivia.
Froggen.
Yeah, but you missed him.
Nerves. Oh my god, I'm terrible. I got Froggen. I'm gonna give myself 4. I don't care.
3 to 4 points. 3 to 4. That's like getting the medal of like nice try.
I just won the viewers a headset.
How do I get this job?
So Maplestreet will determine that based on your like, comment, subscribe, whatever. We'll pick someone. We'll pick a lucky viewer.
Thank you for playing this game. Brought to you by
It's not like
HyperX.
I tried to like not let you win.
Yeah, of course not.
I wasn't
You didn't rig it or anything.
I wasn't talking to
Definitely
Maplestreet
not
while we were doing
rigged.
it. The viewers have won, so one of you special people will get a HyperX headset. So
Yay!
that game wraps up our show. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Maplestreet. Do you have anything that you want to say to your fans?
Just shout out to all the fans that are cheering us on. Hope you guys will cheer us on for the next weeks of LCS. And thanks, Rob Moon, for having me on the show. It was a lot of fun. And yeah.
I'm blushing right now.
He's fanboying over there.
Yeah. Right.
I don't care. No, I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
Shout out to HyperX. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. If you want any more content just like this, be sure to check out SK Gaming. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget that you can get this HyperX headset. Other than that, till next time.
Peace out, and you're welcome.